You know what? A lot of it was not in rehearsal. So I can feel his energy. I also have a lot of energy. You know, we have 400 plus customers. I probably personally visited 300 of it. So I recognize a lot of faces across the globe. It's so feeling special. And I hope you also feeling special. Thanks for coming, right? And this is CDP world. Now, before starting, let's talk about a little bit about the term CDP. So as Mark mentioned, when I co-founded Treasure Data 12 years ago, in 2011, the term CDP even didn't exist. So in 2013, CDP, the term was coined by David Robb as the new type of software to drive better customer experiences. So without this, we all are not in this room. What a serendipity, right? So we should feel lucky to be connected with this software in the industry. And today, thousands of companies of all kinds of industries, like retail, automotive, finance, healthcare, CPG, have deployed tens of thousands of CDPs. And as the CDP community grew, we knew its time had come to bring you all into the same room to create better customer experiences for the human society. So with that, let me officially welcome you to CDP World 2023. Woo! Okay, love the energy. So in this room, were the hundreds of best and brightest business leaders, executives, marketers, data professionals, engineers, and technologists. You're the change makers at the world's leading brands and businesses, most innovative companies. You're harnessing the power of customer data to create more loyal, satisfied customers while protecting and keeping their trust. You may not be aware, but there's so much influence in this room. And let me show you. And on the earth right now, there are 8 billion people, out of which 5 billion people are internet connected, right? And within this room, we have attendees from over 200 companies. And can you guess how many consumers we're empowering and delighting every day from this room? Okay. It's 2 billion. Okay. It's over 2 billion people and consumers we're influencing from this room. It's around 40 to 50% of the consumer in the entire world. It's a lot of opportunity. It's also a lot of responsibilities. Every day, we as a group delight billions of people. At the same time, we're custodian of their data. This group of people has a huge influence and impact on human society with customer data every single day. It's never been an exciting time to become a part of the CDP industry. We should be all proud of it. Let's start with the big picture on the problem we're solving as a group in this room. Treasure Data has recently did a brand new survey that we're sharing for the first time today. We surveyed 6,000 consumers and 1,500 marketing and data leaders throughout the world. When we interviewed these groups, we uncovered some difference of opinions between businesses and brands and consumers. 3 in 4 business leaders feel confident that they have a customer 360 view to provide consistent experience for their customers day to day. However, when we asked consumers, only 25% of them thought they have a favorite brands had a customer 360 view of their engagement. So 76% and 25%, 51% is a huge gap. Half of the consumers. Many brands feel they have a full customer 360 view today, but according to consumers, they don't. And I, as a consumer, also feel that way. And here's also another interesting data point. 9 out of 10 consumers claim that the majority of content they are receiving from the brands are just irrelevant. This is just a massive opportunity to level up engagement across the globe. This is also another shocking data point. As you all know, customer loyalty is also always up for grabs, especially when customers do not feel valued. Shockingly, 44% say they don't see any value at all from being a long-standing customer. Many of them feel new customers get the most attention. The new customer get the best deals and better experiences, and a lot of businesses and brands ignoring existing customers. And we know customers who don't feel valued are likely to churn, translating to lost revenue. So how can we, as a community, tackle these problems together and level up? At Treasure Data, we're determined to solve this problem for the world together with you all. So many of you in the audience are Treasure Data customers. So thank you for the trust. Some of you in the audience are using another CDP, that's completely fine, or exploring CDP for the first time. Today, we're going to announce exciting new products and services, which we believe we reinvent the entire CDP category. And as a result, greatly fill the experience gap between business and billions of consumers. Okay? So before diving into the announcement, let's start from the history of this company. So when we started the company in 2011, this was the small room, right? Just 3 people, Hiro, Sada, and myself. Probably smaller than this stage, you know? And here's a picture of only, our humble beginnings. And to save our precious money we raised from angel investors, we brought and built IKEA furniture, and I did it too. We also bought a used Wi-Fi router on the bottom right. The Wi-Fi network password was called Chang Family. And apparently, this router was used by Family Chang, right? So we started as nimble, humble, frugal, and that's where we are, who we are. And since then, we worked really, really hard for a few years, listened to the initial customer base, and released our first product to the world, which was Big Data as a Service. This slide actually comes from our original Series A Investor Day back in the day. At that time, we pioneered cloud and big data batch processing space with compute and storage separation, which is now common across all of the modern data stack. So with this service, many can instantly analyze the data in the cloud with a usage-based pricing model, which was a brand new concept at the time. One investor even told us, Kaz, who will throw away the data to the cloud? Right? I guess everyone does right now. And we have original Treasure Data logo here in the middle. It's yellow and gray, not blue, with the disk at the center. And you don't see any disk anymore, which was also unexpected, right? And our origin as a big data as a service or data platform company actually gave us the ability to batch process trillions of rows of data, global data deployment across the continents, and also enterprise security and compliance. This actually created our foundation. And around 2016, what we have realized is that many of our customers were using our product to analyze customer data. We built a general data platform, but what we found out is, what they're doing is analyzing customer behaviors. And we also learned that the marketing department who wants to access the customer data the most, right? And I didn't know much about digital advertisement, cooking, and all this, but I quickly learned through the customers. We listened to our customers, and we formed a small group of engineers in the company and built the collection, unification, segmentation, analysis, and activation product on top of our data platform. We didn't know even what to call it. But in 2016, we found this little software category called CDP, Customer Data Platform, and it was emerging. And since then, we believe in the category, and we believe that's important for the human society, and we're all in to become the #1 leader in the CDP category. And as you saw in 2016, we reinvented ourselves as a CDP company. Now, 7 years has passed. The time has come for the next evolution of our company. Today, we're going to announce what we've been working on past few years, reinventing ourselves by challenging our origin. So first announcement is long awaited real-time 2.0 CDP. So with this, we now have real-time ID unification, which you all wanted, and trigger, which you all wanted, and personalization, which you all wanted. Woo! Okay? The second announcement, obviously, is AI. We now have pre-built AI models and bringing generative AI copilot into our product. Third, which is really important, so we have batch CDP, now real-time 2.0 CDP, and AI capabilities. And how do you use it, right? So what we have done is this is available with a single unified journey orchestration UI so that every business user can use them all. Now, everything is drag and drop. And I think what's most important is this is actually one product. It's a single product, not a separate product. So all of other competitors, you're asked to buy multiple products. Okay, you know what? This is batch CDP product. This is real-time CDP product. You have to buy both. You need to implement twice. You need to create data model twice. You need to learn twice. And it's a mess, right? So after today, with this announcement, there will be no discussion about choosing either batch CDP or real-time CDP in this category. Okay? So CDP has to support both batch and real-time with advanced AI capabilities and easy-to-use single unified UI. That we have. Okay. Hope everyone's excited. So now, let's dive into the specifics, starting from real-time 2.0 CDP. So when it comes to support hyper-personalization, in today's market, again, I said, there's two different types of CDPs. A batch CDP that you create journeys from all of your historical interactions, 5 years, 10 years, or more. Or a real-time CDP that supports triggers, personalization, but you can't store all of the historical data, maybe 30 days, 60 days, right? As we saw, treasure data's origin is scalable batch processing. We were able to scale journeys, segment, data, and orchestration across billions of profiles, and you all have trillions of behaviors. However, the consumer's buying pattern is becoming more instantaneous. For example, younger generations purchase product right after they saw TikTok or Instagram. One of the financial company told me their consumers and customers go to their website only once a month just to check the statement. And they have to catch that moment. And the time is the critical aspect here. And our customers started saying executing the real-time campaign is becoming critical for their businesses. While they don't want to purchase and implement additional products, they don't want to buy additional real-time CDP on top of treasure data. And obviously, we listen. And I also want to emphasize that we had real-time capabilities here and there. But we feel that they won't meet our customers' future expectations. Therefore, last 3 years, we have re-architected our underlying data platform to unify both batch and real-time processing. Many try and errors. You know what? To be honest, some projects failed. But we kept going on because we thought it's game-changing. And as a result, we're taking our real-time capabilities to the next level. So it's only appropriate for us to call it real-time 2.0. I also would like to note that some vendors claim they're real-time with 15 minutes delay or even 1 hour delay. We are not. We're talking about milliseconds, not seconds, nor minutes. And we're really excited about what real-time 2.0 can do for you. So the first ability this real-time 2.0 engine offers is identification. As you know, in the batch CDP, you take data points from a variety of sources, probably once a day, apply identification once a day, probably every hour, and create a custom 360 view. Now with this real-time identification, you unify profile as the event comes in. You define rules from UI, and if consumers visited the website, open the email, or open up the mobile app, as the event comes in, we unify profiles as we find out all these ID linkages. This is what we call real-time 2.0 identification. And on top of the profile we do, the second capability real-time 2.0 offers is triggering. If your consumer interacted one of your channels, such as web, you can instantly send messages in different channels based on that event trigger. The typical use case is abandoned cart, notification when someone goes to the store, or sending message when someone checks in your hotel, and so on. Again, the delay is milliseconds. The third capability real-time 2.0 offer is personalization. And a lot of people say, Kaz, there's so many personalization tools in the market. I would challenge you. Unlike any other personalization tools in the market, our real-time 2.0 CDP takes all the data from all the channels and providing personalized experiences to any channels. For example, you personalize your website experience based on store purchases in the physical world. That's impossible, right? And CDP can only do. You personalize your mobile app experience based on usage of the car, because we can take IoT telematics data from the car. You personalize your contact center experience based on your gaming device anomalies, failures, and errors, because we can take the data from that device. This is what consumer expects, but unfortunately, there's no tool available in the MarTech space. So we reinvented. And again, this real-time 2.0 scales like any other services offered by Treasure Data. This engine was designed to scale to process billions of profiles, technically everyone on the earth, everyone in the connected world. Now, let's also, second, talk about AI. For the last 10 years, this company was a data company. We've been working on consolidating customer data, cleaning it up, and creating customer 360 view and activating it. But in the next 10 years, it's time to build the intelligence on top of that data, natively built in the product. And it's so easy to say AI has reached a tipping point. You read it every single Twitter feed and newspaper and all these, right? But let me describe why that's the case and leveraging my background. As Mark mentioned, I started this company as a CTO, Chief Technology Officer, and my background was HPC, high performance computing. My professor, when I was a student, built the world's fastest supercomputer, and I was a part of the team to build the file system for that supercomputer. And by the way, how many of you have heard what is called Moore's Law? Okay, maybe 30%, 40%. That's awesome. You're technical a little bit. So Gordon Moore is the founder of Intel, the CPU company. What this law suggests is number of transistors in single CPU doubles every 2 years. What this means is CPU becomes 2 times faster every 2 years. And this exponential trend continued from 1970s to now. And this is amazing, right? And then when I was a student around 2004, which is in the middle, I asked my professor, so why are you excited about building the fastest supercomputer, right? And he told me, because I'm building the alligator. Like, alligator, right? So apparently, number of neurons in the alligator's brain is the same number as the transistor of the fastest supercomputer at the time. So he's like, I'm building the alligator's equivalent of brain, right? So do you know how many neurons I have here? It's 86 billion, right? I'm more clever than alligator, right? And as you can see this trend, within the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to surpass. There are some, skepticisms about Moore's law and all these, but we all, overcame as a scientific community, right? And that's also exciting, but at the same time, I also would like to emphasize that this AI wave we're having right now is all about assisting human, right? They're not going to exceed human brain capacity. So that's how we think about the recent AI evolution, how AI can help human. And I also talked with many of you, learning how and what's the obstacle about adapting AI and ML in your organization, and observe 2 main obstacles in my mind. So the first one is AI and ML needs really good data, great data, clean data, right? A lot of people talk about AI, ML, that's sexy, but you know what? The algorithms are so commoditized. You can download Python program, it's open source and run by yourself. What differentiates you the most is having differentiated and clean data set, uniquely generated from your businesses. And you know what? When we engage with our customer with a lot of AI and ML projects, 95% of efforts is about preparing clean, great data set. And I also would like to emphasize, given you already have a data within CDP, you already advanced the majority of your competitors, because 95% of your AI journey is about preparing the data. And again, AI needs great data. And I can't emphasize enough on this. Now, the second obstacle we're observing is democratizing AI is about the gap between IT and businesses. This is same for any technology, but AI gets adopted in IT and engineering organization. But the true ROI and efficiencies will come when business users adopting AI, right? However, we're seeing a lot of organizations struggle to bring AI to the businesses directly. How do we democratize the use of AI, value of AI within the business users without IT involvement, engineering involvement? That's why we're announcing 2 new capabilities to overcome challenges of democratizing AI. First, we're bringing more than 20 pre-built machine learning models and solutions directly into CDP. Many of you actually worked with Treasure Data machine learning team to build your custom ML models, specifically around predicting and customer behaviors. We found that there's a lot of commonality across all of the industries and all of the customers, so that we actually productize those custom models into more generic one. From finding the most valuable audiences to uncover the best offer, these models will help marketers better understand who, how, and when to target. And the example model we're bringing in is RFM. This is available to all marketers, and most importantly, within our audience studio. Because we have this model, data science team can now spend more time on other projects, not just building all these 20 basic models. And don't forget, we still support bring your own model. So your data science team can bring your own AI models into Treasure Data. Next, we're also excited to announce our plans to bring generative AI into Treasure Data. As you can see, we're integrating LLM into our audience studio so that you can interactively creating the segments and analyzing your customer behavior through the chat-like interface. You can ask, OK, those are the segments I want to look into. What are the most valuable segments? You can ask it. And then this LLM agent going to mine your customer data, bring back some data, and then you can also activate those segments and journeys and executing the campaign, and then becoming more efficient. And this AI copilot will be your very own assistant. It will build segments, journey rapidly, and deliver analytics for you. And as we further look into the future, we can see the world where AI can not only create content, but automatically optimize all of your customer engagement, maybe in 10 years. I don't know. But this is the future. AI can generate best subject line, predicting next best channel, next best time, best messaging, and even creating creatives for the personalized content. Right now, this is too expensive from the infrastructure point of view, but this feature is coming as the AI cost goes down and down. A world of hyper-personalized engagement will only be possible with AI, and we're excited to help our customers accelerate into this exciting feature. Finally, let's talk about Journey Orchestration UI. The research has shown when making a purchase, over 50% of consumers engage across 3 to 5 channels. But engaging with customer primarily through email and SMS, pretty limited, right? And I'm just so disappointed that the tool our industry offers to orchestrate customer journey is just alarmingly outdated, right? These journey tools are just architected 10, 20 years ago. I mean, mobile even didn't exist when Unica was born, right? So with those tools, you can orchestrate only limited channels, often just email and SMS, and it doesn't scale. And you need a lot of technical knowledge and expertise. Yet, a lot of our prospects and customers sometimes pay millions of dollars. And I don't understand. Why would you pay that money only to generate disjoint experiences in a limited channel? We thought this is one of the major reasons why business and consumers have the huge expectation gap, as I mentioned. There was no tool existing in the market to orchestrate entire customer experience across all channels. That's why, as you all know, we built our own journey orchestration, tightly integrated with CDP last year. Our CJO is easy to use, can orchestrate all channels, and scale to billions of profiles. So as you can see, with drag and drop, you create some stages, and then you can create the entry criteria, just drag and drop. So someone made the purchase, and some criteria. And then you can add some decision point, marge, and activation. And we recently announced A/B testing capability inside. And what's more exciting is today, we announced real-time 2.0 capabilities. And we're also happy to announce that the trigger and then personalization capabilities will be integrated into this journey user interface. You can create trigger activation just within this journey orchestration tool, like any other journey. And as I noted previously, a lot of our competitors, different tools, separate products for batching real time with different UI. But today, we became the first CDP who unified both batching real time, but most importantly, with the single journey interface. Thank you. And with the announcement of pre-built models, you can also use AI attributes within this journey. This is the example of next best channels, Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads. So depending on the next best channels, you can retarget in different channels, and it's all drag and drop. Now, AI models and attributes can be easily used by business users. Now, this is the final section of my announcement. So today, first, we introduce Real-Time 2.0 CDP, which does real-time identification, triggering, and personalization. Second, we introduce pre-built AI models and LLM Copilot. Third, you can use batch CDP, real-time 2.0 CDP, and AI with a single unified journey UI. And most importantly, those are not separate products. It's a single product, single implementation, single tag, and it's very different from other competitors. So from today, CDP has to offer both batch in real time with advanced AI capabilities with an easy-to-use user interface. We believe today we reinvented CDP category by ourselves and leaving everyone behind. And by the way, the majority of the features are available as beta, and some of you actually already started testing it. And most of the feature will be in GA in next 3 to 6 months. So please contact us at any time. There's also a booth for the new feature. You can ask and see it. Now, this is my final slide. Before we go, you may be wondering, what is the next reinvention of the CDP? So 5 years from now, we see a CDP that gets used by all the departments: service, sales, marketing, compliance, supply chain optimization, product analytics, sales, right? So we believe any customer-facing systems and people must have an access to CDP across the enterprise. CDP will help you increase revenue, reduce the cost, create efficiencies, and close the gap between consumers and then brands. So the stats we saw at the beginning start to look more aligned. And thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the CDP world.